Good evening and welcome to our news programme on Saturday the 16th of October, and it's 6 o'clock. And in the news this week, Dorset Council has been awarded £2.13 million to unlock land for homes. The grant funding will be used to help build almost 200 homes in Dorset on underused brownfield land, helping local people and families get on the property ladder. An impressive £943,255 has been allocated for enabling works at the site of the former Weymouth and Portland Borough Council offices at North Quay, and you can see the picture up on the screen. The funding allows the council to submit a planning application for demolition before inviting developers to tender early next year for the development of the land as the council's development partner. As it stands, the current proposal for North Quay site involves demolishing the existing North Quay building and building residential units with some commercial and community space on site, as well as reinstating the old High Street, all in keeping with the historical character of the area. Staying with the Dorset Council, it's proposed to keep. Oh, well, let's get the picture up. Here we go. It's proposed to keep the current safety railings on Custom House Quay Weymouth in place for the foreseeable future. The railings were installed in April this year, following advice from the Health and Safety Executive that edge protection was required to ensure that people were adequately protected from falling in the harbour. These safety railings were initially installed as a temporary measure in preparation for increased visitor numbers over the summer, partly due to the pandemic. Over the summer, officers have reviewed their effectiveness and advised that they should be retained permanently to maintain safety in this area of the harbour, complementing the public realm improvements being made to Custom House Quay altogether. Full consideration has been given as to whether the existing railings should be retained or whether they should be replaced with a different design. The current railings cost £40,000 and allow flexibility for harbour users' needs in the future. An alternative type of railing with more traditional heritage appearance and made from ferrocast polyurethane could be used instead in the area of the harbour. However, the replacement cost would be around £100,000, including installation, and does not give any flexibility of use. The council have said, based on health and safety advice and the known risk of people falling in the harbour, removal of the railings altogether in this area of the harbour is not an option. Local residents and businesses are able to give their views on this proposal by emailing, and here we go, here's the email address, Dorset Highways BSU at dorsetcouncil.gov.uk. So that's Dorset Highways BSU at dorsetcouncil.gov.uk. Now, comments need to be in by the 31st of October. It's been a record-breaking year for the Green Flag Award. As the scheme marks its Silver Jubilee, Dorset Council has 6 countryside sites celebrating success this week. The best ever results for Dorset, including Thorncombe Woods near Thomas Hardy's birthplace. Dorset Council is raising the green flag this week at 6 of its parks. The award is the International Quality Mark for Parks and Green Spaces. 6 parks and green spaces across the Dorset Council area have been awarded the green flag, representing the mark of quality. And they include Moores Valley, Avon Heath and Durlston Country Parks, plus Thorncombe Woods near Dorchester, and the Milldown and Stour Meadows in Blandford. All have been recognised by the Green Flag Award Scheme as some of the very best green spaces in the world. The Green Flag Award Scheme is managed by the environmental charity Keep Britain Tidy, under licence from the Department for Levelling Up, Housing and Communities, and recognises and rewards well-managed parks and green spaces, setting the benchmark standard for the management of green spaces across the United Kingdom and around the world. Now, moving more locally, Greenhill and Sandsford Gardens in Weymouth have been named as 2 of the country's best green spaces. On Thursday this week, Weymouth Town Council raised the Green Flag Award at Greenhill and Sandsford Gardens. The Jubilee clock was also lit green to help celebrate the award, which, as we said, is the International Quality Mark. During the last 18 months, our parks and green spaces have played a vital role for people through lockdown as a place to relax, exercise and meet family and friends. The news that both Greenhill and Somerset Gardens have retained their green flag status for another year is a testament to the hard work dedication the council puts into making these green spaces a great place for everyone to enjoy, said a council spokesman. Greenhill and Somerset join parks and green spaces as diverse as the National Memorial Arboretum in Staffordshire, Woodhouse Park in Peterlee, and Chiswick Old Cemetery in London, who have all received the green flag status. Well, there we go. Good news for Dorset Council and, of course, Weymouth Town Council, with some of their parks and green spaces getting the Green Flag Award this week. Would you consider becoming a Maternity Voices volunteer and have an input to making a difference to maternity services across the county of Dorset? People in Dorset who have used maternity services in the past 5 years or who have supported a family member to do so are being invited to apply to become a service user representative or maternity partnership chair for the new Maternity Voices Partnership. Maternity Voice Partnerships are independent working groups made up of clinicians, service users and other relevant people who work collaboratively to improve maternity services for everyone. The opportunity is open to those who are passionate about maternity and neonatal services and who want to shape these services by representing the voices of the parents and families who access them across the county. Successful candidates will be supported by a team member from the maternity team at NHS Dorset CCG. Now, if you're interested in that or you want more information on that opportunity, pop along to the Dorset CCG website at www.dorsetccg.nhs.uk. Resurfacing works will close the A35 Pool Hill roundabout at Beer Regis for 4 nights and 1 day in early November. Dorset Highways is carrying out structural repairs as well as applying a new road surface as part of its ongoing maintenance work across the county. Due to the treatment being used where the foundation layers will need to cure, the work includes a 24-hour daytime closure. Now, this is the main roundabout at Beer Regis. So listen out if you go that way. The road closures are the roundabout and approach roads close 8 p.m. from Monday the 1st of November to 6 a.m. Tuesday the 2nd. The roundabout and approach is 8 p.m. Tuesday the 2nd through to 6 a.m. on Wednesday the 3rd. And the same on Wednesday the 3rd of November. And then the roundabout and approaches will be closed all day on Thursday the 4th of November. So nighttime closures on the 1st, 2nd and 3rd of November, 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. But on Thursday the 4th of November, the whole roundabout and approaches will be closed for 24 hours. Now, there will be sign diversions in place, and road users are asked to pick the most appropriate diversion depending on their type of vehicle. Of course, lots of heavy goods vehicles use those routes as well. And updates will be posted on Travel Dorset Twitter feed. That's at Travel Dorset. So there's going to be a bit of disruption there, particularly on Thursday the 4th of November. Dorset police detectives have launched an investigation into the death of a man in Weymouth, and one man has been arrested. At around 12:20 p.m. on Monday the 11th of October, officers received a report from the ambulance service of the sudden death of a man aged in his 50s at an address in Portmore Gardens, just off of Boots Hill. Inquiries into the circumstances surrounding the death are being carried out by detectives from the Major Crime Investigation Team. A post-mortem examination took place on the morning of Tuesday the 12th of October. The initial cause of death is undetermined and further toxicology tests have been requested. A man aged in his 20s from Weymouth, who was known to the victim, was arrested on suspicion of manslaughter. He had been released under investigation while inquiries continue. Now, if you've got any information in relation to this sudden death, you're asked to contact Dorset Police on the usual contacts, 101 for non-emergency, their non-emergency number, or if you prefer to remain anonymous, through the Crime Stoppers charity on 0800 555 111. Now, staying with Dorset Police, 9 rooms at 2 neighbouring hotels on the Weymouth seafront were targeted by thieves in one evening this week while guests were out enjoying dinner. Police said that there were reports of burglaries in 7 hotel rooms in the Hotel Prince Regent and in 2 hotel rooms at the Russell Hotel on Friday night this week, between 6:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. A guest staying at the Hotel Prince Regent said that the burglaries took place while guests were away from their rooms and that he himself had money and a ring stolen while he was having dinner. Cash and items of jewellery are reported to have been stolen on the night, and investigations by police into the burglaries are ongoing. So again, if you've got information on that, please contact Dorset Police. And a good news story from Dorset Police. A Dorset police officer has won the South West Regional Police Bravery Award at the National Police Bravery Awards that were held in London this week. PC Ros Fricker, who was a probationary officer at the time, was badly injured as she tackled an aggressive man who was wielding a hammer and threatening members of the public. She joined more than 90 colleagues across England and Wales who were all nominated for their courageous acts at the prestigious awards event in London this week. Well done to PC Fricker. Thousands of small fish have been washed up along Chesil Beach this week. Stretching for at least a kilometre, thousands of tiny fish were washed up and left lying on the beach and were spotted by a local paddleboarder on Thursday. The reason behind the fish being washed up may not be as sinister as it appears. Sarah Hodgson, who's the Coastal Centre's assistant at the Dorset Wildlife Trust, said it's most likely a natural cause has been the cause on viewing the pictures that she's seen. They look like bait fish, and what's most likely to have happened is a large predator was chasing them to shore and left them with nowhere to go. Bait fish get their name from being small fish which are used as bait to attract larger marine life. She went on to say that while the sight may look unusual, she has come across it several times before and is likely to be entirely natural. Dorset Council are carrying out a survey to find out what people think about their waste and recycling services, how they can be improved and what users' priorities are. The survey contains 15 short questions covering the curbside recycling and waste collection service, household recycling centres, fly tipping and litter, and communications. If you fill out your name and address when you take part in the survey, you'll go into a draw to win an Amazon Kindle e-reader as the prize, which is worth £79.99. So if you fancy the chance to win a Amazon Kindle e-reader, but most importantly, if you'd like to provide some comments and some thoughts on the waste services of Dorset Council, of course, which we all use, either at home with our regular collections or recycling centres, or if we go to the tip with bulkier items, then Dorset Council obviously want to hear from you. Pop along to their website, www.dorsetcouncil.gov.uk, for more details of the survey. And finally, in tonight's headlines, a Weymouth campsite has been crowned the winner of a popular TV show, which has been exploring the best holiday spots on the Jurassic Coast over the last week. Channel 4's The Perfect Pitch saw 3 duos or families of camping enthusiasts explore different areas of the country, with the theme for the past week's episode being the Jurassic Coast. The show started on Monday, October the 11th in neighbouring Devon before the guests made their way across the county lines into Dorset. It was announced yesterday, I think it was actually, on the show that Weymouth's Higher Moor Farm at Nottington was crowned the perfect pitch, best campsite on the Jurassic Coast. The episode, which showed the campers pitching up at Higher Moor Farm, which catered for Olympic sailing crowds in 2012, was actually aired on Wednesday. Obviously, well done to everyone at Higher Moor Farm in Nottington, and hopefully the publicity from being involved with that programme will mean they'll be really, really busy next year with bookings. So there we go, that's our headlines this week. We now move on to our first feature this evening. And this week, we have seen a giant leap for spaceflight, and in particular, making spaceflight available to more people, and possibly, who knows, in the future, to normal people like you and me. So this week, I'm looking at the occurrence this week of the second manned flight from Jeff Bezos's Blue Origin company into space. This week on the news, we've seen a fictional space traveller, Captain Kirk from Star Trek, played by 90-year-old William Shatner, go into space aboard the Blue Origin New Shepard rocket. The flight on the 13th of October was made by 4 astronauts, including Shatner, and was only the second manned spaceflight for Blue Origin, who, with other commercial companies, are once again seeing people return to space. Blue Origin was founded by Jeff Bezos, Amazon founder and executive chairman, in 2000, with the vision of enabling a future where millions of people are living and working in space to benefit Earth. In order to preserve Earth, Blue Origin believes that humanity will need to expand, explore, find new energy and material resources, and move industries that stress Earth into space. Blue Origin is working on this today by developing partially and fully reusable launch vehicles that are safe, low cost, and serve the needs of civil, commercial, and defence customers. Blue Origin's motto is Gradatim Ferociter, or step by step, ferociously. Blue Origin has been flight testing the New Shepard rocket and its redundant safety system since 2012. The program has had 18 successful consecutive missions, including 3 successful escape tests, showing the crew escape system can activate safely in any phase of the rocket's flight. True operational reusability is the only way to lower the costs of access to space. Both New Shepard and New Glenn have been designed with reusability in mind from the beginning. Their vertical takeoff, vertical landing architecture enables them to reuse the first stage of their launch vehicles with minimum refurbishment. Both vehicles have throttleable liquid-fueled engines, allowing for precision landing back on the landing platform. This allows for high asset utilization for all their vehicles, which decreases the cost and increases availability for customers. The Blue Origin feather is a symbol of the perfection of flight. It represents freedom, exploration, mobility, and progress. For thousands of years, humans have been looking up at the birds and wondering what it would be like to fly. Now we can look up to the stars and pursue a bright future for everyone. More information and some great pictures are available on the Blue Origin website at www.blueorigin.com. Let's now see what William Shatner, more familiarly known as Captain Kirk, experienced this week aboard Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket as he set off into space.
When you're up there, you see this beautiful, vulnerable, blue planet. Remember, it's just our origin. And you guys are here at the beginning.
Weightlessness. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God.
This is,
Oh, wow. I can't believe this. No description can equal this. Everybody in the world needs to see. There is Mother and Earth and comfort, but what you see is black. What you have given me is the most profound experience I can imagine. I'm so filled with emotion about what just happened. It's extraordinary, extraordinary.
There we go, a very special trip for William Shatner, Captain Kirk from Star Trek days, where he's now actually gone into space, and you could see how much he was moved by that experience. Now, if you would like to go into space with Blue Origin, and I have to say there are other commercial operators also operating, offering similar services. Virgin Galactic's another one. I think there's a third one as well. You can go along to their website and book a flight. There is a form on there already, and you can go along to blueorigin.com and you can fill in your details and book a flight. Now, the only thing I would warn you is it doesn't say how much it's going to cost you. It does say that there is a charge. It doesn't say how much. And I imagine it's rather large. But earlier today when I was looking, I couldn't find how much that charge actually was. So just be careful that you're not committing yourself to several £100,000 or millions of pounds if you make a booking on their website. Now moving on to something completely different this evening. Our second feature tonight is this week has been part of the National Fire Kills campaign. It's actually been Candle Fire Safety Week. Candle Fire Safety Week runs from the 11th to the 17th of October, so running through till tomorrow. And Candle Fire Safety Week is all about snuffing out the risk of fire in people's homes. As the winter's fast approaching, we get a few candles scattered around the room, and obviously we've got things like Halloween coming up, Guy Fawkes Night and Christmas, and candles are obviously used when people celebrate special meals, etc., and they lend a warm glow to an evening and add some festive cheer or atmosphere to celebrations. However, candle fires do result in around 300 casualties each year, and is something that we need to be aware of. So this week our reporter Lydia is having a look at Candle Safety Week and candle safety in particular.
As we get into those winter months and approach Halloween first, then Christmas, one of those things that gets used a lot in our homes is candles. The fire service locally is warning residents to ensure candles are used in a safe way. Dorset and Wiltshire Fire and Rescue is asking people across Dorset to make sure that when in use candles are secured in a proper holder and away from materials that may catch fire, like curtains. Candle fires result in around 350 casualties per year across the country, and nearly 40% of candle fires result in death or injury. The advice from Dorset and Wiltshire Fire and Rescue comes as part of Candle Fire Safety Week. During this week each year, fire services across the country urge people to use candles safely, or if possible don't use them at all, and to use battery-operated lights if possible. Other useful tips include: make sure your candles are placed on a stable surface, out of reach of children and pets. Keep all naked flames away from upholstery, soft furnishings and other fabrics. Do not move the candle once lit. Ensure the room is well ventilated and that the candle is away from drafts and air currents. Extinguish your candles using a snuffer or spoon. This helps to reduce the risk of accidentally producing sparks when blowing them out. Keep scented candles in a heat-resistant holder. These candles are designed to liquefy when hot, in order to distribute their fragrance. Never leave a candle unattended and make sure all are safely extinguished when you leave the house or go to bed. Of course, as we approach Halloween at the end of the month, we will have lots of candles in use in pumpkin and other lanterns. At the same time, children will dress up in costumes, many of them purchased online, and we cannot be sure how fire retardant they are, if at all. This short video from the Hampshire Fire Service reminds us how cheap Halloween costumes and candles don't mix. Please keep your children safe this Halloween and Christmas time and throughout the whole winter period. Make sure if you are using candles, that you follow the safety tips.
So when you're buying a costume for your child, always check the label. Make sure it conforms to a British standard, which means that it's not going to burn as easily should there be an accident or the costume catches fire. Cheap online outfits may well be cheaper, but they're probably more dangerous and don't conform to fire regulations. That means if it catches fire, it's more likely to burn more quickly than a quality product. So always check the label and buy quality goods.
There we go, and thank you to Lydia for that. And so just remember, if you're using candles, use them safely. Make sure they stay away from things that burn, and think about your Halloween costumes. And if you can, replace candles by using something like those LED candle lights where they run on a battery and they don't get hot, then obviously you're not going to get any problems at all. Remember, if you do have a fire at home from a candle or anything else, excuse me, the message is get out, stay out, and call the fire brigade out with 999. Now, our final feature this week is from Janet Hall, and she returns to a topic that we've mentioned a few times over recent months. This week, Janet had the chance with a group of people from White Regis to go out on a trip on MV Freedom, the boat that is there to give trips and make the sea accessible to some of those with disabilities. So we see how Janet and a group of people got on their trip on MV Freedom this week.
Hello. You may remember that we've told you about MV Freedom before. It's the boat which takes people with disability out onto the sea to feel the freedom of the world around them. It builds confidence and anyway is a great deal of fun. And of course, there's always the opportunity to see dolphins. Earlier this week, some members of the fellowship group in the parish of White Regis were lucky enough to go on a trip on MV Freedom. This is the story of their adventure. Leave Weymouth behind and go and look for the cruise ships.
Are you on the back of the boat there?
This is Graham, our skipper, who was happy to show us the dashboard and all the gadgets. He could even keep an eye on the passengers at the back.
Yeah, there's a. Well, I haven't tried this, but let's have a go. I think there's a video here, isn't there? There you go. Yeah. So we're watching you all the time, you know.
Then it was Mike's turn to have a go.
So do you want to have a little drive? Good.
Eventually we reached Durdledorf and watched the paddleboarders. So grateful to MV Freedom for giving us this wonderful day out, and for the weather, which was superb. And of course to the dolphins, who finished it off spectacularly.
Thank you, Janet. And of course, all the crew and all the skippers on MV Freedom give all their time voluntarily. And Graham, the very experienced skipper who I remember scuba diving with about 30, 40 years ago. And I was out on a boat with Graham earlier this year, and he's certainly a very skilled skipper. And got us very close in round Pulpit Rock when we went out. It was a great day. Anyway, Janet mentioned the nice weather. And it's now time to get the national weather forecast from the Met Office. And this week we're joined by Alex Deakin.
Hello. The weekend is upon us, and although I can't promise huge amounts of golden sunshine, there's not going to be huge amounts of rain either. For most, Saturday will be a dry day, although we will see some rain coming in through the evening and overnight. Sunday a rather drab affair, but after things turn colder through Friday, temperatures will be back on the way up through the weekend. Through Saturday evening we will see that rain. It looks like pushing into Northern Ireland and a good part of Scotland. Still some uncertainty about the timing of that rain, and eventually we'll see some of it pushing into westernmost parts of England and Wales as we head into Sunday, but many central and eastern areas staying dry, and so with more cloud generally it will be a milder night, certainly across Scotland compared to Friday night. And Sunday will be a mild day, but it is going to be a fairly drab start. A lot of cloud, outbreaks of rain. Could be some heavy rain for a time in the southwest on Sunday morning, but that should peter out. And further north as well, I think the rain will tend to ease off, and it's looking fairly patchy. A bit of a mess through Sunday afternoon, but again, many places will turn drier and perhaps a little brighter. But overall, it will be quite a grey and for some fairly dank day. But look at the temperatures, again, pretty mild for the time of year, back more widely into the mid-teens. And if we see any brightness, again, those temperatures could jump a little bit higher. So a bit of a mishmash through the course of the weekend. Saturday, the drier of the 2 days. Things turning wetter and windy, though, as we go into next week. For more on that, make sure you keep up to date with the Met Office across social media.
Thank you very much, Alex. And now we'll get our local weather report up for the week ahead. And as you can see, as Alex mentioned there, on the national forecast, there is a chance of rain this week. But if you look at the temperatures, most of the week, it remains quite mild. And whilst we might get some rain, we're also going to get some sunny spells. So hopefully not too bad a week, and hopefully the rain won't spoil things too much in the week ahead. Now, on to traffic and travel. Well, if you've tried to be out and about this week, and you've tried to go down Rodwell Road, Boot Hill, then you'll know that there's been some emergency works on Boot Hill that have been causing an absolute nightmare for traffic with significant tailbacks, and that has continued through the weekend as well. And I certainly was hearing on the radio this morning the traffic reports of significant hold-ups coming through White Regis and the Boot Hill area. Other works this week are predominantly just Wessex Water, pre-notified on Chickerell Road, Glennyway and South Down Road. So not too many other roadworks, thank goodness, other than that main one on Boot Hill, and I'm not quite sure when that is due to finish. I guess as soon as they can. Remember that those forthcoming works beginning of November at Beer Regis, particularly if you're travelling out of the area on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and most importantly on the 4th during the day, with the total closure of the roundabout and the feeder roads. Now, on the trains, there are bus replacing train services in the Woking area. I've got Wicking area here on it. I think it's supposed to be Woking area this weekend, but there's no specific details. Just says Woking area on the National Rail Inquiries Engineering Works system. There are no pre-notified works on South West trains or Great Western trains affecting work this week. However, I would like to make you aware of some forthcoming works that will cause significant disruption as we get closer to Christmas. Passengers in the Weymouth, Dorset and Yeovil area will soon benefit from big improvements in their railway as engineers get to work on improving track and stations. Between Thursday the 18th of November and Friday the 3rd of December, so quite a period, Thursday the 18th of November to Friday the 3rd of December, there will be major surgery for the Heart of Wessex. I like the puns that the National Rail are using. Major surgery for the Heart of Wessex line, which connects Weymouth and Bristol. Almost 5 miles of track will be replaced in the Maiden Newton, Chetnall and Yetminster areas during a 16-day closure. So significant disruption. Buses will replace Great Western Railway services throughout. So that's on the Great Western Railway side, going from Weymouth towards Bristol from the 18th of November to the 3rd of December. 16-day closure, bus replacement service. Now, new track was due to be installed in Chetnall over late May bank holiday, with a large number of passengers expected due to hot weather and the end of lockdown. Work was postponed, so that's why it's now happening now. The line from Weymouth to Wool, so this is the other line, the line from Weymouth to Wool will also close on Monday the 22nd of November. Then the line from Weymouth to Dorchester South will close on Tuesday the 23rd to Friday the 26th of November, and there will be bus replacement services going in that direction as well. So significant disruptions in both directions at the end of November, with bus replacement services in place. So if you are planning to travel on the train from the middle of November onwards, make sure you get some advice on what's happening and how you're going to be able to travel, because there will be some disruption, but hopefully it'll all be clear before Christmas, so anybody travelling to visit family in the run up to Christmas should be okay. Moving to the what's on. Coming up at Weymouth Pavilion, 21st of October, Hound of the Baskervilles. 24th of October, Sunday Night Comedy with Stephen K. Amos. 29th of October, Legends of American Country. And 30th of October, Rod Gilbert. If you're interested in any of those, pop along to the Weymouth Pavilion website, weymouthpavilion.com, or give the box office a ring on 01305 783 225. That's 01305 783 225. Moving on to the Knowth Fort, Halloween fun at the Fort, 23rd of October to the 31st of October. Lots of activities, spooky activities going on for the family over that period of the 23rd of October to the 31st of October. Information on the Knowth Fort website if you're interested. What else we got? I think that's, oh yes, 20th of December, Picklebottom the Elf. A Christmas show. So on the 20th of December, Picklebottom the Elf is doing a Christmas show at the Knowth. So pop along to their website, www.knowthfort.org.uk, to see what is coming up. They are updating that website all the time. Over this weekend, the D-Day Centre in Portland and the Castletown area are having their popular Castletown at War event. Castletown at War is a joint venture organised by the Castletown D-Day Centre and the Portland Castle English Heritage Team. Over the weekend, organisers promise an immersive World War II experience for all the family, spread across both the D-Day Centre and Portland Castle. Castletown at War is a celebration of the vital role that Castletown played as a major embarkation point during preparations for the D-Day landings, which included the setting up of a US Army field hospital and the training and deployment of the US 1st Division destined for Omaha Beach. Reenactment groups, the 4th Battalion, the Dorsetshire Regiment and the German 86th Pioneer Battalion are to be joined by the D-Day Centre's very own team of living history volunteers. Exhibitions, entertainment, World War II memorabilia stalls, weapon displays and vehicles will add to the authentic wartime experience. The event will also mark the first public appearance of the D-Day Centre's newly restored Duck, a six-wheel drive amphibious truck used by the US military. Other vehicles include a 1940s Dodge Ambulance, M8 Greyhound armoured car and a rare Morris 8 Series E Tourer. So that's the D-Day Centre and Castletown on Portland all this weekend, looking at Castletown at War. Looks to be a very interesting event, and it's nice weather. Certainly been nice weather today, and hopefully it'll be nice weather tomorrow to enable you to visit that. We're now moving on to our film review for this week. And our film review, thinking of Christmas coming up, is very aptly named. It's called Boxing Day. So there we go, a Christmassy type film, but called Boxing Day. This Christmas, going home is far from a holiday. Boxing Day movie starring Aml Amin, Ajnemi King and Lee Ann Pinnock is in cinemas on December the 3rd. Melvin is a British author living in America. He returns home to London for the holidays to introduce his American fiancée Lisa to his eccentric British Caribbean family. Their relationship is put to the test as she discovers the world Melvin left behind revolves around his ex-girlfriend Georgia, who is now an international pop star. It's directed by Aml Amin and it's called Boxing Day, and it's going to be released nationwide in cinemas on the 3rd of December by Warner Brother Pictures. And here it is.
Oh, wow.
What do you think? Don't apologise. You only ruined the world's best proposal. We could try again when I get back from London.
You're going to London during the holidays.
My agent said it's essential to promote this book.
It's the perfect opportunity for me to meet your family.
I don't even want to see my family.
Is this about Boxing Day, where your parents announced their divorce and you fled to America? London!
It's not all tea and crumpets. Miserable most of the time.
Damn, Scrooge.
Melvin McKenzie, he's taking Hollywood by storm.
That's my nephew!
I fell in love with this beautiful American woman.
Can you find no British girl now?
Wow, it's Georgia for the Launch Show. I love your music.
Merry Christmas, guys.
I wanted to introduce you to my fiancé.
Melvin!
Georgia for the Launch Show is your ex-girlfriend. She is a superstar.
It is in the past.
We've had sex to her music.
Wow, fam. It just got worse.
Do you believe in love?
Where's Mr. Hollywood with his American princess? Does he think he is Prince Harry?
Hello, son.
When you bring your ass home to see your family.
Oh, we're gonna punch his throat.
Love, relationships, all a matter of perspective.
What are you doing blowing kisses to my missus on the gram, fam?
You think introducing me is going to be the controversy of the night?
Excuse me, who are you?
Somebody said to me when you first asked me out.
Choose me.
Lisa!
We're in the best thing that ever happened to me.
It'll be all right in the end. If it's not all right, it's not the end.
Christmas is a time for forgiving.
Ouch.
Bruv, them things don't work no more.
Sorry, mate.
There we go. That's Boxing Day in cinemas from the 3rd of December. One of the movies being released for Christmas. I'm sure we'll hear about others in the weeks ahead. Well, there we go. That brings us to the end of another programme. Doesn't it go so quick? Each week comes round quick and the programme goes so quick as well. Now, just to remind you that our weekly quiz is on at 7:30 in 3/4 an hour or so. I haven't got a watch with me, so I don't actually know what the time is now, but I imagine it's about 3/4 an hour to go. And the live stream will be live from about 7:15. You're welcome to join us for that. Of course, you can watch that on catch-up in the week. If you find there's nothing special on TV and you've missed it on Saturday evening, do go back to the YouTube channel or Facebook channel and have a go at the quiz during the week. It works just as well, I'm told. Lots of people actually do that. Just to give you forenotice that on the 20th of November, we will be doing an in-person quiz at the Memorial Hall in White Regis, a live quiz in person. If you'd like to come along to that, it's as a fundraising activity, that will replace the online quiz that week. Also, to remind you that there are services at All Saints Church tomorrow at 8 o'clock and 9:30. The 9:30 service is a parish-wide Harvest Festival service, so there are no services at St Edmund's Church tomorrow. And of course on Friday at 7 o'clock, our Year in Gardening with Clive Gray, a popular gardening programme, telling you some ideas of projects and how you can deal with weeds and all sorts of useful things about plants for your garden. And if you want to keep up with local events, local news, and a whole range of interesting programmes, do pay our community radio stations a visit during the week. Chesil Radio, Keep 106 or Air 107.2. And of course, if you've got any stories or events or any news for us that you think we might be interested in for next week's programme, do drop us an email, news@whiteregis.tv. That's news@whiteregis.tv. And we're particularly interested to speak to people and do some interviews about people in our community that are doing special things. So I hope you have a really good week. I hope we don't get too much rain. I hope we get a bit of that sunshine and some of those lovely fresh evenings which I enjoy going out and walking the dog when it's a little bit cooler with those nice clear skies where you can see the stars. And I look forward to being with you again 6 p.m. next Saturday for our weekly news programme. Good evening.